Good morning again, everybody. Welcome back to LilyLuLou. If you're new here, my name is Karen. I'm the Junk Journal Geek, and I'm here today to do one of the M's Scrapbuster challenges from a few weeks ago. This challenge is run by Melina at Me Crafty Scrapper. I'll leave a link to her channel below, well, specifically to this video where she made these, in the description below. So we're making these today from my favourites, junk mail envelopes or used envelopes, and it doesn't matter what size envelope you start with, you end up with a little tuck spot here at the bottom. We have a little pocket here behind the window, and it doesn't matter if your envelopes don't have windows, you just won't have that bit there. We've got another pocket behind there, so in here behind that window part, and then we have another pocket here which I can't get open because I've only just made this and it's a bit sticky still. So we have a pocket in here at the back. So we have 4 pockets there, and then if you stick this down in your journal, you know, on 2 or 3 sides, you can have another tuck or pocket or what have you. And just to show you, this is my, if this was my journal page, it would just stick on there like that, and you can see the back is still the envelope. So we're going to make some more of these today. What I'm hoping to do is to go back to, you know, people like Melina and Tina at Shabby Dabby Doodah, where they do their mass makes. I want to start joining in with those again so that I have some ready-made ephemera to go. Now, Melina did decorate this, but I think I'll leave mine as is, and then I will decorate it when I use it in a specific journal so that I can tailor it to the journal I'm making. A, because that would just work better for me, and B, you know how painful it is to watch me decorate things. We'll have like the majority of the video with me faffing about what I'm going to put on. So this one, as I say, it doesn't matter what size your envelopes are. I've got a couple here that, this is, you know, a new reply paid envelope. This one is the same size, but it's been opened. I have the same size with the window, but obviously you wouldn't see much of the window there because there's been a sticker over it, so that would need to be covered. So I have a few in that size. I have a weird size envelope here, and then I have some of these larger envelopes, which is what this one was, and I just cut it down to the size that suited me. So it really doesn't matter what size envelope you start out with. So I'll do one without a window next. So we're starting off with this, and the first thing I need to do is cut it down so that it's going to be roughly the size I want it. So when you're looking at the page, you know, just eyeball where you think you would like your envelope, you know, how big you would like your pocket to be even. And then I'm just going to do this with scissors for the purposes of the video, rather than keep stopping and starting to use the guillotine, because that's at the other end of my table today. And the reason this is a Scrapbuster challenge is because I've got my box of scraps next to me. We're literally using all leftover scraps to cover the envelope with. So now we've cut that, not in half, but we've cut it down to the size we want. You can see we've got our opening at the top there. This is the other part. And all we are going to do is put one behind the other and turn the bottom up, and that will be our envelope. our pockets. So I'm just wondering if it would be better to turn it up that way. It doesn't really matter, does it? If I turn it that way, I could even utilise this as an extra little tuck, like I did with the other video that you've seen me doing things with junk mail envelopes recently. That was one that was inspired by Carol Laws. So all I'm doing here is just resealing the envelope, the two parts where it was sealed before, so that we've got our pocket there. And I'm going to do the same with this one. So we're just closing the envelope back up. Take that bit of glue off there. And then we're going to pop one behind the other. So I don't know why I'm faffing with this, it really doesn't matter. So I'm going to fold that up, and again there's no measuring here, just eyeball it and do it where you think you would like your fold to be, or the size you would like your pocket to be. And then the first thing we're going to do is cover this back piece, but what I'm going to do first, I'm going to slip something inside here to cover the back, because no, I'm not, I'm going to cut the thumb notch. Ignore me, I'm not going to do that. So I've got a piece of, look at that, it's almost the perfect size. It was just meant to be. So how are you all today? I hope you are all happy and well and enjoying this beautiful weather. In England we're probably having our summer, to be fair. It's been glorious for the last few days. A bit windy, but it's been absolutely beautiful, lovely and sunny, nice and warm, not too hot, although yesterday was starting to edge towards the too hot for me. I'm not brilliant in the heat. I'm all right if I'm sitting by a pool with a cocktail. I had a day yesterday where I made lots of mistakes. Everything I was doing wrong. So I said to my husband, well, you know, it's that weather. I should be sitting by a pool with a cocktail. If I'm not there, then you've only got yourself to blame. Oh, I can't get there. Don't know if this piece of paper's been cut wonky, but I can't seem to get it quite right on here. And of course, the more I'm lifting it up and moving it, the stickier I'm becoming. So we've started off what should be something very simple this morning, a bit of collage, and already I'm getting myself in a bit of a state. Right, so I'm going to put that there. Now, this edge is slightly over the edge of the envelope, but I'm not going to worry about that, because when I've got this all done, I'm just going to trim off the edges once this is all dry. So I'm just checking for size, make sure I'm still working it in my ballpark of where I need to be. So these ones that, you know, you don't have an envelope are a bit easier than the ones with the envelope, because you don't have to worry about collaging around the envelope. I mean, if you want to cover the window, that's absolutely fine, no problem at all. But it's nice to utilise the window if you can, because it just adds a little something, I think, to your piece. So I'm just eyeballing where the middle is on there. I'm popping a thumb notch in, and on this one I didn't do a thumb notch. I think I will do a thumb notch in the front part on this piece. Then you can see that there's actually two pockets there, not one. So now I need to let's put a little bit of ink around this. I'm not going to do the edges until we are where we want to be. Now, we might have a very neutral one here, perhaps. Is that too? No, I think that's too neutral. It's taking it a step too far. What about that? Is that wide enough? Oh, that's just not wide enough. But if I do my edges, we'll get away with that, I think. So this piece needs to go just below, so that it's down below where my fold up bit is going to be. So about there will do. So where's my ruler? I haven't done any tearing yet, so my ruler's not to hand. Any ruler will do. Where are you? There we go. So if I rip that down there, I think it was. That's about right there. So, oh goodness me. Myself in a pickle here. It's not even hot this morning, so I don't have that excuse. It is still quite early. Everybody's still in bed. So it's picking the lesser of two evils, isn't it? I can film early and not be interrupted, but my brain's not in gear. Or I can film later and end up having 7 parts of video to join together. And I'm not exaggerating. My last 2 videos have been 7 videos joined together. And yesterday, the video I recorded yesterday, which hasn't gone up yet, as I mentioned, I'm trying to do some videos in advance, so that if we're away next week, you know, I've got stuff to go up on my channel. Oh, look at how wonky that is. I don't think it matters though, I'm going to trim that. Yeah, so I put the video together, uploaded it to YouTube, clicked on it to watch, you know, to check it, to play it back, and the whole first part was missing. So my video started right in the middle of what I was working on. So I had to delete that and start again. Right, so here I am going to pop a little thumb notch in this front pocket. And then I'm going to pop a little something in the back here, so that, you know, it looks pretty behind there. So let's find a little something. That's about wide enough. Funny that I've got pieces that are roughly wide enough for what I need today. That's bent there, so let's take that bit off. Probably got it too narrow now. Oh, no, it is still slightly too wide. Take a little bit more off. Oh, and the other thing I thought I was going to do, which I've forgotten on this, I wanted to fold my papers over the top edges so that they were a bit more sturdy, you know, for when you're sliding things in and out. So here I meant to wrap that around and I forgot, but I can do it with this piece. So we go down about there and fold that, then you can put some glue on the bottom half. And one wondering how many of these I will be able to get made today. I think Melina made 3 in her video. She did decorate hers as well, as I say, which I'm not going to do. So let's see how many I can manage to do. Right. So Melina didn't do this folding over bit, but I just feel like I want to. It just gives that edge a little bit more protection, in my opinion. Oh, excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat. And makes the edge look a bit more finished, I think. But it's, you know, each to their own. You have to do what suits you, don't you, with your own art. That's what it's all about. So that's that piece done. Keep trying to stick it on the wrong part. So that's going to go on there like that. I have to remember to line it up to this edge because that edge is overhanging, isn't it? Let's trim a little bit of that now, so I can see where we are. The other one I popped through the guillotine once I'd got everything on there, just to, you know, finish my edges, because I'm not great with scissors. If you've been here before, you'll know that. So that goes there. So now I need a little piece to go along there. And that is a very neutral envelope. Now my writing is wonky, probably on both pieces, but by the time you've got things in there and it's decorated, that's not really going to be that noticeable, she says, hopefully. Right, let's see what else I've got in here. Just rummaging in my box. Some of that. A bit too light still, isn't it? I've gone very light on this one for some reason. That might be quite nice. So if I stick that in the middle, I can fold over both edges. So I'm just popping the glue on the flap. I need more glue on there, I've just pulled that off. Oh dear. Don't know if you heard that, somebody sneezing. I don't know if it was next door or my daughter upstairs. My daughter is doing her final uni show this evening, then she will officially have left uni, and she's really poorly. She can barely talk, let alone sing, so don't quite know what's going to happen there. I'm going to line this edge up on this side, and then I'm going to snip this part off. Slightly over, but then I'm going to stick this top part over here. Fold that back up, so you can see it just makes a nicer edge along there, in my opinion, and gives it a little bit extra protection. And then we'll just stick this extra piece. Got bits everywhere. I like when I watch Carol Laws. I like the way she just says, "Oh, my bits have gone on the floor, I'll pick them up in a minute." If I do that, Max eats them. Anything falls on the floor, he thinks it's food. Right, so a bit more inking here. So I think it's quite quick and easy and quite versatile and a good way of using up your junk mail envelopes. I don't know why I'm inking that edge because I've got to trim it, haven't I? Goodness me, Karen. So that's going to be hidden, so we don't need that along there. So we can take this bit off. And then we can stick that onto there where we want it. And I'm not on my glue mat. My glue's not flowing. Coming out now. So a bit there and to about there. And then we're going to stick this piece on here. My thumb notches are not lined up either, but this is a junk journal, so it is what it is. Now that looks very wonky. So that's the actual pocket made. I don't want to interfere with it too much because that glue is still wet. So we'll leave that one to dry. But you can... Oh, I haven't stuck this bit together, have I? I'm pushing it down for the glue to take and there's no glue on there. You can tell it's early in the morning. So once I've left that to dry for a few minutes, I will trim these edges to straighten them all up and then ink them. And that will be another one ready to go. I do prefer these ones with the window, but this does give you the opportunity to stick, you know, a nice focal point on there. Let's have a look, what have I got to hand here? For example, if that butterfly was cut out, not that butterfly because it doesn't go at all, but you know, you could stick something like that on there. Melina put words and all sorts on hers, but as I say, me and decorating things is just painful to watch. And I'd rather do it when I know the journal they're going in, because, you know, then I'll know I can sort of do it more in keeping with the journal I'm making. But just for an example, having said all that, I'm going to quickly cut this lady out. Because I think she'd look quite nice on there. And it's this is black and white, so again it's going to be neutral. And we can zhuzh it up with appropriate ephemera pieces when we're actually using it. I think I've cut a little bit of her hat off. These this sheet of people you've just seen me grab is from the Graphics Fairy, because I don't have any Tim Holtz people, so I use people from other places. So this is one place. You'll have seen me use the people on the front of crisp packets, and I sometimes cut people out of books or magazines. So you don't need to buy specific crafty items. There's always ways to improvise, isn't there? So I think she looks quite nice there. So I'm going to stick her on because I can, because it's my piece. Should have inked her really, but got a bit carried away there. So that's another one. I'm going to leave that to dry. And what else have we got? I want to try and do another window one. I don't know if I've got a window that hasn't got a sticker over it. Let's see, I've got that huge window, but that's not going to work for this. Try one of these, couldn't I? So this will need cutting down quite a lot if it's going to fit on my journal page. I'm going to try and find some little envelopes as well and do some diddy ones, because not today, because I haven't got time to look for them today. Because I'm going to be making a journal smaller than I usually do in the near future. So if we cut that, no, I'm going to fold it first, at least I'll have some sort of line to follow. I cut that so that it's roughly a little bit more, I was going to say roughly the same amount of envelope either side of the window. Although that really doesn't matter because I'm going to fold it up anyway, so ignore me, I'm talking rubbish. Because one end is going to be folded up anyway, isn't it? For the little tuck. So let's cut that there. And this one's definitely going to need some trimming. I'm going to cut down here because where I've torn the envelope, it's scruffy, and then I should have cut the width first, shouldn't I? So I've got them both the same size. Very silly sometimes, Karen. That is right. So I need to cut along, oops, along there, and then roughly where that yellow line is, which you probably can't even see. This one's going to end up smaller because by the time I've chomped it under the chopper to straighten it up, there'll be hardly any window left. And I always keep these bits of the envelope when I've cut them down to size, because you can use these to make tuck spots and pockets and things, and belly bands if you stick them together. So that's going to go there. This is going to come up here. We do not have one straight edge to work with. Never mind. I'm trying to make sure that I have at least one straight edge on here that I can start from when I'm straightening everything up. But it's not happening, so this is going to be a different size again. That's going to be like that. So Melina had a good trick where she put something in here and just glued the top to have, you know, to avoid that problem of trying to stick your backing page down in there while it's got glue on it, but because this is open, I could cover that straight away. Although that red behind there is not offensive, is it? It's quite pretty. I might just leave the red. Oh, I'll tell you what I could do. I could leave the red and stick a person on the red behind it, couldn't I? As I've got these to hand. That would be quite cute. What about that little girl at the top? Because she's a bit, I'm just thinking some of these are a bit too narrow. So let's cut her out. So you could do all sorts with these, couldn't you? I still haven't done any more to my tab bound journal because I haven't had a chance to fix my sewing machine. And I tell a lie, actually, I did stick a couple of things down. I decided, right, I'm not using the sewing machine anymore in this, and stuck a couple of bits down, and then I decided that really doesn't look right. It really does need to be sewn, which is too late for the bits I've stuck down, but then I paused because I thought I need to sort my sewing machine out. So don't quite know what's going to happen there at the moment. And I don't know if I will be able to sort that out before we go away. So there may be a gap in seeing any more of the tab bound journal. We will see. But as I say, I have got other things to be working on, and I do want to, like I mentioned earlier in the video, I want to build up some ready-made ephemera and get rid of some scraps. So I'm going to start trying at least once a week to do something either from Tina's mass make workshops, that's Shabby Dabby Doodah, or Melina's Scrap Busters, and then I'll have some, you know, pieces ready to go. Don't know why my voice is so croaky this morning. I should really go and pour out another cup of tea, but I'm trying not to stop the video unless I absolutely have to. Right, I'm just going to, she's very delicate, so I'm just trying to dab some of the places that I can't get to with my dauber. I don't want to accidentally amputate her arm. That wouldn't be good, would it? Oops. Right, let's put a little bit of glue on her. The good thing about these ones that you print out, you could, you know, change the sizes of these. You could do 2 to a page and have them really, really diddy, or you could print them bigger, if you can work out how to do that with your printer. So I'm just trying to see roughly where I want her to be. Don't want to chop the top of her head off. Oh, she's wonky now. Mind you, the envelope's wonky as well, so there we go. It's just a little something. I've done that now. I think she looks a bit spooky. Never mind, we'll go with it. We'll save it for Halloween if necessary. Right, let's try and find something different I've got loads of scraps in this box and I keep taking all the ones at the top. And there's lots here at the bottom. Let's see what we've got. Oops. Lots of rubbish here. It's not rubbish, is it? Beautiful pieces of paper. Oh, she would have been quite nice behind the envelope. Well, she would have been too big, but that would be good to use in a window, wouldn't it? Right. What we're going to do here, so we need to do the back piece first because that's the biggest bit. I think I'm going to overhang everything on this, and we probably do need to go pinky, don't we, because of the red background. Sorry, I've gone out of frame, haven't I? So we don't need to go all the way down because that's going to be covering the bottom up. How big do we want it to be? It'd be quite nice with that rose sticking out, wouldn't it? So I'll glue down to about there where it says whistle. And I haven't put the glue on the wrong end, haven't I? Okay. Right, we'll just cover the whole thing then. In which case, put that there, and I can hopefully have that little rose popping out there. So for now, I'm just going to rip this just past where I'm going to want it. And then I'm just going to fold this top edge over so that I've got my nice edge. And it's a shame that it's going to be wonky, but it's going to be wonky. We're just going to have to go with it, I'm afraid. It's very wonky, isn't it? I think I've stuck the paper on so it looks straight, but it's making that top edge on the wonk. We'll just have to see if we can live with it. So now I need to close this envelope back up. Might help if I actually open the glue. Oh, I need to stick that bit down as well, my over flappy bit. It's all going wrong. Right, close that. going to go on there, like that. So we've got the red behind there already, so we don't need to cover that for our thumb notch. How high are we going? We're going there, aren't we, where the rose is. So let's find some pieces to put around the rest of this. Could have a bit more of that going up that side. You can see these are things that have printed wrong. I'm just trimming a bit off of the length there so that it doesn't show through the window on the other side. And I will see, this is my experiment to see if this is better, having these bits folded over on the top edge or not. What else have we got here? Sorry, I've gone quiet again, haven't I? It's because I'm thinking. Well, this has turned out to be a longer video than I expected, but I hope you are enjoying this, seeing what I'm doing. Again, I'm going to fold that edge over so that we've got a nice protected edge there, although I'm pretty certain it's not going to be anywhere near straight. She needs a little bit of attention on her legs. And her head, actually. Right, so how's this looking? That up there, that up there. I think it's quite cute, actually. Lily threw that away, and that's the piece we need at the back. Got here. Have some more of that writing. No, I think that's not wide enough to go down there. It's too samey to that. Need something different. All these bits of paper here. half. Have a bit down there. So I'm going to glue the flappy part. It's not going to be anywhere near straight. Mind you, I don't think any of this is it? Okie dokie. Let's take a little bit off the bottom and then fold that over. I've got so many scraps now, I'm losing my equipment. A bit more than that, so that we can have a nice fold. Let's just pop that over that edge. I hope this is making sense, what I'm doing to you all. It's not rocket science. Just when you know, keep turning things round and flipping them this way and that way. Don't want a thumb notch in that one, do I? So that can just go like that. Then we need something up here. Be okay. Wonder if I can just tear that edge a little bit. Oh, can't tear it straight. That would be far too much to ask, wouldn't it? Might be okay there. This is printed double-sided and it's blue on the back, so I want to make sure it's not showing on the edge. Now I think I've ripped that bit off and it'll be too short. Let's have a look. Oh no, it's all right. So let's pop that on there. So that's like that. Let's just get rid of these bits. To say I am going to trim this under the guillotine so we know what's what. So that goes there like that. So let's pop our I think I'll turn these in. Before I stick everything together. And then I'll stick it under the guillotine, as I say. I'm not sorry, I keep stopping talking. Because I'm doing this a different way now. I'm thinking as I'm going. So this is going to need a bit of inking on there. So let's stick this all down. And then I will go and straighten it all up. And then I'll come back and show you what's left of it. Oops, that's a bit globby. So that's got to go there. That's got to close there. And then we're sticking this on here. Right. So I'm just going to leave that to dry for a second before I pop it under the guillotine. So I'll be back to show you how that looks momentarily. Okay, this is what we're left with. We need a little bit more glue in some of these corners. Again, this is something where, the sort of thing where I would normally stitch around these. But that's not going to happen at the moment. But you know, once I've sorted my machine out, I could come back and stitch all around these, which I think would make them, just finish them off. So let's do a little bit of inking. I think this is my favourite one now out of them. Now I don't know what constitutes a mass make, but I'm pretty sure it would be more than 3, which is what I have achieved today. But I'm just not built for mass makes, unfortunately. But there you go, there's my 3 envelope pocket thingies. Let's make some room here so you can see exactly what we've done. So I think they're quite nice, and I think the more of them you make, the better you would get. This one still needs trimming, I haven't done that yet. But you can see they're different sizes, they're made from different sized envelopes. You can cut them down however you want, and then you can use them however you want in your projects. So I'm quite happy with those. I'm pleased with what I've done, and I will definitely be making some more. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you found that interesting, helpful, and that you can now run along and make your own versions. Thank you for joining me. Look after yourself. I'll see you again in another couple of days, hopefully. In the meantime, enjoy your own crafty time. Bye-bye.